Hello, Talking Fight fans around the world. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Scoop. Sorry, got my mix word up. My words mixed up there. The Scoop, featuring the champ Bola Ray, where we bring you the best of the best from around the world, the best fighters, the best fights, the best history, the best trivia. Tonight, I believe we're going off to the Ukraine. Is that right, champ?
That's absolutely correct. Today is day 5 of my ongoing series showcasing the up-and-coming heavyweights that are, in my opinion, responsible for making this being one of the most exciting times in boxing history. These fighters are just on the precipice of potentially dethroning either of the two champions and altering history. Now, today's candidate for the role of heir apparent has not one but 2 amateur wins over Arthur Beterbiev. By his 10th professional fight, he had already captured a world title. And by the 15th professional fight, he was already unified cruiserweight king. He is the 4th athlete to win all 4 recognized world titles at the same time in history. In 2012, he was the Olympic gold medalist, but he also won 6 years later the Muhammad Ali Trophy in the inaugural World Boxing Series or Super Series, and earned also the Fighter of the Year award by Sports Illustrated, ESPN, The Ring magazine, and Boxers Writing Association of America. This accolades hog is none other than, my name is Bola Raymond Olubuole, and this is the Scoop. I just realized that the way I phrased that intro makes it sound like I was talking about me.
Yes.
And with that, no. No, born January 17th, 1987 in Simferopol. Wow, I've been working on that word for a while and I still can't get it. Simferopol, Ukraine, was the absolute star, Alexanderusyk. In his early years, his love was with the sport of soccer. But when he turned 15, his gaze turned to boxing. He never looked back. His amateur campaign was littered with accolades, such as a bronze medal and a gold medal at the European Championships, 2006 and 2008, respectively. Gold medal in 2008 at the Straja Cup in
Sofia.
Belgrade. Bulgaria. Thank you, Belgrade. Bulgaria. Thank you. A bronze medal and gold medal in the World Championships in 2009 and 2011, respectively. And a silver medal at the World Cup in 2008 in Moscow. But finally, he got the accolade of accolades as an amateur with his 2012 Olympic gold medal. Now, he really has done it all. One really cannot ask much more than that from anyone's career, but onwards and upwards. Now, Usyk crossed paths with Arthur Beterbiev in 2011 at the World Championships at heavyweight, and walked away with a W, only to repeat the performance the following year at the Olympic Games in London. Now, understand something. Beterbiev is an absolute destruction crew, all wrapped up into one human being. And maybe that's why he's so successful, because he's destroying everybody at light heavyweight when he actually used to fight at heavyweight. There was no reason, or that explains a lot, actually, in the way of his power. And Usyk beat this guy twice. Nobody can figure him out today. Usyk beat him up twice. Usyk retired his amateur campaign with an astonishing record of 335 wins and 15 losses.
Wow.
Like, yeah, he was doing something right. Usyk turns pro later 2013, with his first contest being November 9th of that year. He finishes the year with another contest under his belt, and starts 2014 off with nothing shy of a bang. In 2014, Usyk was able to amass four more wins, with none of his opponents actually hearing the final bell. Actually, his whole career up to that date, none of his opponents had heard the final bell. But he also was starting to collect hardware. Collecting the interim World Boxing Organization Intercontinental Cruiserweight title in his fifth fight against Daniel Brewer, with a record of 24 wins, 5 losses, and a draw. Only to, in under 2 months later, go off and repeat the performance in beating a Danny Venter. Okay. And who had a record of 19 wins and 6 losses. Now, these two veteran opponents had respectable records, but yet they were stopped by a guy who has as many has many fights as they did losses. He was genuinely something special, or is. He's not gone yet. Usyk goes on to have 3 more title defenses, where none of his opponents, again, continue to not hear the final bell. And then, September 16th, 2017, he's staring across the ring against Krzysztof Glowacki, a 26-0 with 16 stoppages. Absolute warrior, ready to dance for the WBO cruiserweight title. Now, to call this level of opposition that Usyk had been facing thus far in his career as being advanced is nothing shy of an understatement. And yet, he has stopped all 9 opponents he's had en route to his 10th fight for the world title. He is well on his way to being, well, the cruiserweight king. Now, Glowacki was the ultimate test. This was the fight that announced that the cruiserweight king had finally arrived. with his fast flicking jabs and big punch combinations coupled with his poetry of footwork, he made this contest look easy. Even though Glowacki was never in any real trouble, he definitely was outclassed from the opening bell. Another testament to the level of competition that was before Usyk this night is the fact that this is the first time in his career that his opponent heard the final bell. Usyk goes on to successfully defend his title 2 times, once against Michael Hunter of the US. Now, this fight was rather telling in that this was another cruiserweight prodigy who started his career off against the highest level of opposition and was victorious, rolling into this contest with a record of 12 wins and no losses. The fight told a story for me, though. Usyk had just left his longtime trainer and joined forces with arguably the greatest father and son duo in Anatoly and Vasily, thank you, Lomachenko. Wow, I'm having a good one today.
Because I started you off.
This contest, the first 3 rounds, was won by Hunter on all 3 scorecards. But the 4th round starts out, and Usyk changed his strategy up totally. He started by landing his straight left in combinations to the body with nothing shy of regularity. This change continued for the remainder of the contest and even assisted him in a late 12th round knockdown. Now, this was a telltale sign of greatness for me because not every fighter can change up their strategy partway through the contest when they've been training using a specific strategy to win and abandoning it partway through. That's a level of boxing IQ and ability that I've only witnessed very few fighters able to actually accomplish such a thing. Usyk won by unanimous decision. Now, then comes the inaugural World Boxing Super Series. This was quite the event. 8 cruiserweights, some of them actual champions already, were to face off so as there could only be one. Usyk drew none other than 16-time world title defending, winning Marco Huck. Usyk was asked why he chose to fight Huck first. And he responded, because of my fans. Huck, who was equally excited, replied that Usyk was his wish opponent. Now, September 6, 2017, at the final press conference in Berlin, during their face-off, Huck goes off and pushes Usyk. When asked why, he said that he wanted Usyk to respect that he is in his home, Germany. Yeah. Usyk handled the whole thing like a boss. Okay? And simply said that his endeavor was to be the best. And to be the best, you have to beat the best. And as far as he was concerned, Marco Huck was the best. The fight night, Usyk used his footwork and combinations and cruised to a 10th round TKO victory easily over Marco Huck. He absolutely played with him. Even while playing with him, he was taunting him, just making him look ordinary. This is Marco Huck. Like I said, 16 times he defended his world title. He was on top of the world for a while. This guy really was a step above. Now, in his next two contests, went the distance where he collected for his troubles the WBC, the WBO, the WBA, the IBF, the Ring Magazine cruiserweight title, and the lineal cruiserweight title. After all the beating, after beating Murat Gassiev, he won it all. Like literally, he won it all. But where do you go from here? I guess you go to heavyweight. He had one or two more fights at cruiserweight to defend it against Tony Bellows, which ended up in another stoppage. The guy was he was an absolute phenom, head and shoulders above everybody else in the cruiserweight division. And I guess it's about legacy. His next move, he wants to repeat this feat at heavyweight. During his campaign to become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Usyk has fought two well-seasoned opponents in Chaz Witherspoon and Derek Chisora. Stopping Chaz in the 7th round and winning a unanimous decision over Chisora was a decent step in the direction that he's looking to go. Now, don't get me wrong. Usyk is absolutely amazing. His resume speaks volumes. But if his fight with Chisora was anything called an indicator as to what it's like to play with the big boys, to bang with the strong boys, I just don't think he has the power to keep up with the elite big boys. Or at least to keep them at bay. Time will tell. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I just don't see it. Now, I wish him all the best because I really like this guy. Class act. And he can back up pretty much anything, and yet he doesn't do anything. So yeah, I definitely will be watching. And with that, that's my episode. If you like this episode, please hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget the notification bell. It's your boy Bola, and that's the scoop.
Thank you, Ray. Put on your matchmaking hat. Tell us who you think Usyk should fight next.
Well, the bottom line is you have three guys. I'll say three because Deontay is still, granted, he no longer has a belt, but, I'd like to see him fight against somebody who is 6'6" and up. Why? Because those guys are 6'6" and up. AJ's the shortest of the three at 6'6". Now let's see exactly how he gets by reach. He has poetry for footwork. He has power-wise, as a cruiserweight, decent power. Not exceptional. Usually wore his opponents down as opposed to one-punch knockout sort of scenario. But whatever gets the job done, or more importantly, all hail the one that gets the job done. But I don't see, well, he could attempt to chip down a couple of big boys. I'd be interested to see a fight with him and, say, Alexander Ustinov. He can outbox Ustinov, but would he stop him? Would he deter him? Ustinov he'll walk right through him. I'd like to see him against my friend Manuel Shar. Now, Manuel Shar is a shorter fighter, but let's see. Yeah, he did well against Chisora. Manuel Shar is a much better technician than Chisora and was the WBA champion. Actually, apparently, he's fighting again for the title. WBA regular title. That would be a good contest to see. There's a few. I would like to. I don't know. He apparently is a sparring partner of Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir is still sparring, and there's still rumors that he's looking at coming back and whatnot. And so be it. It would make an interesting contest. I don't see him getting by these guys. But I've been wrong before. Once or twice.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's the scoop. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back on Monday with another episode involving something interesting. And we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks very much, Ray. Appreciate your insight.
Cheers.
And we'll see you next week.